Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am starting a series, and it probably will end up being one video, hopefully. It is going to be what I am doing and how I am doing it. I have 3 babies' birthdays coming up within a week and a half apart. One on the 27th of March, their party's on the 31st, Easter is on the 1st, the other baby has a birthday on the 3rd, and then the last one has a birthday on the 5th. So we're combining their birthdays, and it's 2 girls and 1 boy. We found a theme that might fit, which is Enchanted woodland. So it's going to be fairies and toadstool mushrooms and elves and all that kinds of stuff. I'm hopeful that as I do these DIY projects, I can give you some budget tips and some advice, and just show you and kind of walk you through the process of what we're doing. I'm going to show you all of that. I've already started recording it. This will come first, and then I'll show you all of that. And other than the Easter baskets and the Easter dresses and the presents for each kid, the budget for the party itself has been fairly low. I'm glad that you're coming along for the journey. I really hope that this gets a lot of views, because it is really important, I think, to mamas to find some DIY, to see the DIY, not just on Pinterest and pictures, but to actually see people do it, to see the outcome of it. And then of course on the day of, I'm going to vlog that whole day of what that looks like, and you'll see the whole setup as if you are walking into the party. So anyway, stay tuned, and I hope that you enjoy that all this video and this series has to offer. Okay guys, I am out here outside in my yard. I'm kind of losing the light, and so I'm going to do the very best I can to kind of chronicle how I am doing my kid's Enchanted birthday. I had already recorded the making of these invitations on my phone, but now I'm using my Yeelight action camera. So you may not see that, but I wanted to show you. Hopefully that's showing up. So basically what I did is I wrote out a poem for the kids. Hopefully try not to get my address. I wrote out a poem for them, and then I put it on some scrapbook paper that looks like a treasure map. I tied it with some twine and then put a cute little fairy key. What we're doing here right now, outside, losing the light, is I'm going to use these sticks as natural wands, and I probably will do this inside, but I wanted to go ahead and show you. So I got some colors at Hobby Lobby for those. This one is a lime green something, it's metallic. This one is a metallic rose. And then this one is a metallic blue lagoon. I hope you guys can all see that. I don't know how it's showing up on the camera. These sticks are going to be used for that. And then after they're painted, we're going to glitter spray, which is what we're doing to the pine cones right now. We're going to glitter spray them just to get them all sparkly. And then I'm going to use some riffraff and yarn and stuff to kind of put at the top. And so that they're going to be more like a natural wand instead of, instead of like a glittery princessy one that you can buy, because there's going to be boys and girls at this party. So as you can see, basically I spent less than $10 on the paint, and all of these natural products are free. The scrapbook paper at Hobby Lobby was half off, and so it was probably 50 cents each. And then I printed out myself the poems and stuff. So far the budget has not been outrageous, and can replicate if you have an idea to do this type of party on your own, and realize that it can come at a big budget, but it also can come at a small budget. So I'm not going to do this on the sticks, but I am going to do it on the sticks after I paint them. And that'll be a whole separate day, probably tomorrow, because like I said, we're out of light. So for the sake of just saying this is what we've done, we've spray painted pine cones, we've made invitations, and we've passed out the invitations. And the next activity is going to be sticks, and then I'm going to show you guys some of the other things that I've bought, budgeted, and are going to use on the day of the party, and then you will see it on the day. I'll give a full review. I'm gonna go ahead and do the sticks. I'm just gonna paint them with the colors that I already showed you. I added a gold metallic paint that I found in storage. Here's some brushes that I'm gonna use. I'll probably drag out a few more, just to try to get the most coverage, and then hopefully they won't stick. I can get the most coverage at a time and they won't stick to the paper. That's the goal. Don't know if the color is showing up, but there's some like metallic and some kind of purple. These are the colors on the thing that I actually used. We're expecting a lot of people, but we have 12 crafts, hopefully for less than 12 kids. After these dry, I will put some yarn and some riffraff on the tops and hot glue that, and I don't know if I'll show you tonight. If I do, it'll be under studio lights. If I don't, then we will show you tomorrow. Okay, so the sticks dried overnight and they look really good. So I'm about to set up to make the rest of the wand, which is going to be at the top. Some tools, some twine, some yarn, my coffee. But first we're going to go out and I'm going to glitter spray paint these, let them dry, and then we will be all set to go for this next craft. I don't know if you can see the shimmer, but it is so pretty. I'll try to get it by some natural light. It is so pretty. Like, it's super glittery and it's exactly what I wanted to come out. So I'm using some really good fabric scissors from just like a, I don't know, fabric place because it'll cut everything a lot straighter. I have decided to do a couple of these and probably like a slip tie knot, maybe a yellow, and then maybe a pink to kind of pop against this green. And I'll probably do all of them doubled like in a slip tie knot because then it'll look thicker hanging off the wand, and then I'll cut it whenever it's all done. And I think I'll glue last, just to see how that goes. This is a trial and error one, so we're gonna see. So I slip tied it. I did a slip knot and then I tied a knot. I'm gonna go ahead and do that same process with the yellow yarn. What that looks like so far, and I'm gonna try another pink and another thing, and then I'll let you know if I end up doing hot glue on it or if it'll stay. Okay, I think it looks good. I hot glued just around the edges, and I will get out the vase that we're gonna put these in and show you guys what that's gonna look like as well. So here is what they will look like. They're gonna be in a vase full of some rocks, and obviously all of these are gonna be topped with the same thing that this is. I have two of these, and then they'll all have the ones in them, and I think it's gonna look super precious with like whimsical as well as like the nature look that we're going for, because it's not just like a flu fairy. Fufu fairy party. It is also an enchanted woodland to fit in for my 3-year-old, my 2-year-old little boy. So the best method so far has worked is slip knotting all of the pieces together at the same time, and then that way they hang the same. And I forgot to mention, I think, because see, look, that one is kind of like just on different wavelength as the other ones. I did get some kind of boy yarn, and I put it on the green so that it's kind of more boyish. We have got some boys coming to the party, and I don't know if I mentioned that this vase was $1 on sale after Valentine's Day at Walmart, and we have 2 of these, and we have 2 more that kind of extend out that we got at the actual Dollar Tree for $1. Okay, so I'm getting overwhelmed at how many I've done and how many I have left to do. I finally ate lunch watching some Nikki and Gabby. They are my 2 favorite YouTubers, other than some of my toy YouTubers. Yeah, and that's pretty much all. I don't even know if you can hear me over her. I love her. I love both of them. They're so cute. So I'm watching them to make myself not feel so overwhelmed with 8,000 more sticks left to go. I also whipped out the pine cones that we did yesterday because some of them are super pretty and glittery, and I thought if I put them in natural light you might be able to see some sparkle. I don't know. It's a subtle sparkle, but it is really pretty. Okay, so here is the finished product. I think I have enough, and they came out how I expected. Some of the yarn was a little bit bright and fluffier than I had imagined, but that doesn't matter because I just made 8,000 ones and I'm tired. And if you are interested in this craft, comment below. I will tell you what I did with the paints I used, etc. But one thing I will say right now is that the tips of the wands I hot glued because they're sticks and they're natural and they're naturally gonna poke kids. Like if you can see, like right here at the end of the stick, I hot glued around the strings of all of them, but I also hot glued the tips of the sticks. That way, like I'm rubbing my finger on that and like nothing is hurting because it's hot glued. So that's just a good tip to use in case you're wanting to do this craft. I'm just hiding in the lunchroom because people are playing Fortnite and you're not going to be able to hear me. So my goal is to be able to put this arrow up somehow, either on the wreath or just in our garden, that says fairy and elves welcome. I have terrible handwriting, so we're gonna see how that goes. There's a possibility I'll be able to do it like that on the wreath and not make it look like a no smoking sign. So that is the next craft that we are about to embark upon. Okay, you super may not be able to see this because of how bright it is out here. I'll turn and see if you can see any of it. It's a little fairy. They were $1.97 at Walmart, so $2, $4, $6, $8 for these little fairies. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray paint them with this Rust-Oleum metallic gold. And if that doesn't work, because I want them to just be covered gold. I don't want them to be this bright fluorescent color, if you can even see them. If that doesn't work, then I'm gonna hand paint them. Anyway, I'm showing you this because one of them may go on that wreath that I just showed you. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this craft and then go back to that craft and then come back and see if this is gonna work at all. So hopefully you can see it. If not, you'll see at some point what I'm talking about. I think it's okay if you can't see features, because if you can see wings and solid gold, you're gonna know that it's a fairy. The spray paint, however, I'm having to use quite a bit of it to cover up the brightness of the color that they were, as well as their clothing. So I think I'm going to let them dry, flip them over, spray paint them again, and then maybe spray paint them with the glitter, and then come back inside and do hand-painted, just acrylic paint over what's left of them. And here is a cute little fairy mailbox that I painted. So here is the sign, elves, fairies, elves, and gnomes welcome here. Added some fairy dust and some keys, And then I ended up hanging it from the twig wreath that I wasn't sure what I would do with. And I had already bought some jute fabric because I just thought I'd end up using it. And so I did use it, and I used it to cover up kind of the crud that was right there. I hot glued it on the back. So that's what's going to be hanging on our door when people arrive. So here's indoors kind of what the fairies ended up looking like. There were some certain aspects of their clothing that didn't get completely covered, so I think that I'll touch those up maybe with just some gold metallic paint, and then we will place them around various parts of the decor. So these are just some fake flowers that are pretty ugly, but went with the motif of Enchanted woodlands just because it's like some greens and whites and creams instead of like a fluffy pink and purple and all that. So we really were trying to stick with a specific feel, and I knew that I would end up glitter painting these, and so my hope is that they'll come out pretty glittered enough that the fakeness is, you know, irrelevant. If it ends up being too much, too fake, then we'll just stick them outside on the craft table, which is where they're doing a craft, and I'll show you guys that stuff later. Alright, here is my craft list. For the most part, things that didn't get screwed up did get done today. I added a little fairy on top of her mailbox. And I added a little fairy who looks like she's kind of falling, but she's supposed to look like she's flying. The next time you see me, I will probably be putting other stuff together and or showing you kind of the layout of it, and then I will do a vlog of the day of, getting all the food and all that stuff, and then you'll see the actual put together birthday surprise. So I'm not sure if I went into detail enough about the budget and how much things were or weren't. So if I come across that during the vlog, I will either put it in the description below or write it as a title or transition. So, and you can always ask me questions or comments. I look terrible. I've been crafting since 9 o'clock this morning, and it is 6:30 at night, and I'm exhausted. So, peace out. Craft out. Yesterday, you guys saw us do some sprinkly glitter spray, and we ran out. So I'm just going to try to do it gold, and if it ends up sucking, then we're just going to buy new flowers. Just trying to get that last bit of like lime green that you can tell is cheap and super fake and $5 at Walmart. So I'm just gonna let them dry until we go. We're about to leave, and then see how it turns out.